Welcome to What's the Scenario with PLRB, where we explore claims with coverage scenarios relevant to insurance professionals. I'm Brendan McLaughlin.
Hi, Brennan. I'm Mike Broad.
And hello, I'm Tonda Lee.
Yay, Tonda Lee.
All right. Welcome, Tonda. All right, Mike, what's the scenario?
Well, Brennan, today we're going to talk about two adjusters. I think we'll call them Jamie and Chris. Now, Jamie has been a property adjuster for some time now, and he's ready to graduate up to larger and more complex losses involving crazy stuff like hurricanes and construction defects and historic buildings, massive commercial structures, and even more. Chris, he's a seasoned large loss adjuster on the casualty side, and he's looking to hone those casualty skills and network with others that are in that area. To address these questions, where could they go? Well, we'll take them to the PLRB Large Loss Conference. Woo.
Hey.
All right. Well, I think that's where you went this year, right? This past week. How did it go out there?
Yeah, Tonda and I were there. Yes, we're sorry you weren't, Brennan. That was my bad. I made you stay home. But it went well. A lovely area, Grapevine, Texas. It was at the Gaylord Texans, a nice facility. About 1,200 of our close friends and family were out there enjoying workshops and a great time. So I really enjoyed it. What do you think, Tonda?
I enjoyed it as well. Got to meet a lot of people from prior conferences, made new friends as well. I will tell you that Texan Gaylord, they really are representing for Texas. Everything has a big Texas feel.
Right.
It was great food, great sessions, and definitely great connections.
Great.
You're here.
Yeah, I had to miss this one, but I really like how, you get into the longer sessions and they have the interactivity. I mean, we're going to get into all this, but it's always a fun conference.
Very good event. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hop into the scenario. All right. So let's talk about the large loss. Who is it intended for? What's so special about this conference?
That's an awesome question. Well, it's special because I'm there, right, Tonda?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but no. Who's it for? That's a great question, Brendan, because it can be for a couple folks. Number one, you've got those folks that are already engaged in handling large losses, and that's both from the property and the casualty side. So any of those big claims, $250,000 and above-ish, are what we're working through. But it can also be targeted to folks, let's say that I'm like Jamie, been handling claims for a while, but they've been kind of smaller ones. I want to get into handling those large losses. So there's a great opportunity for somebody like Jamie to learn the ins and outs of some of the larger losses. You're listening to other folks that are already engaged as like executive general adjusters and large casualty loss reps. So you can listen what they're doing, what they've experienced, and the workshop format is based on claim scenarios. So you're already working through somebody else's claim and kind of getting a debrief of what happened and all the fun stuff. And the other folks that are there, Brendan, which is even more exciting, and Tonda was there. She saw they're like engineers and accountants, all the like EGAs that work for independent firms. Everybody is there that isn't like the large loss atmosphere. So all the folks you work with from a expert side to the restoration side, it is a fabulous, fun-filled event with all those folks. Wonderful place to network with your experts and folks that are repairing these large catastrophic losses. Just all around a great event.
Yeah, and I want to add that I've been going to our large loss conferences for over a decade now. And one thing I always take away from it is that large losses really are group projects, meaning that you will have an adjuster involved, but you also likely will have some engineers, maybe forensic accountants, maybe public adjusters on the other side. So that's one thing that I really like is how that you learn how to deal with those group dynamics a lot with large losses.
Yep.
And that's really emphasized. So it's a good also environment if you want to connect with vendors who specialize in those type of claims.
Yes. Because there's plenty of folks there that will meet with you and talk about all their wonderful services. But yeah, it's a great year, right, Tonda? that's one of the most fun things is that it takes a team to handle large losses, and you can hear how folks handled their claim with who did they involve, why did they involve them, when did they get involved, all that good stuff.
And the challenges with dealing with these dynamics with when you have that PA involved, when you have competing mitigation quotes or costs involved, how do you get to an amicable resolution?
Right.
Yeah, if you're juggling as an adjuster, you're juggling multiple contractors, multiple experts. You kind of almost have to be the hub and coordinating all that, and that's a skill in itself. I remember, we've had some workshops that eventually turned into CE courses on, how do you manage that? How do you work with all those groups as an adjuster? So yeah, that's a whole skill in itself to learn.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So what kinds of topics do you see at a large loss? Is it just, are we thinking hurricane large property losses, or what else do they cover?
I'll say everything. I went to classes about smoke damages, residential properties. I've been to classes about casualty losses. What do you do if you have a really large loss, casualty loss with multiple claimants? How do you handle that when you have a limited policy? I've been to, again, vehicular type of liability claims, but also maybe there's some food poisoning, maybe there's some damage, and there's some business interruption losses. So it covers the full gamut, in my opinion. And I think, again, that's the appeal of it, because no matter if you're in the property or the casualty side, there's something there for you.
Great sales point, Tonda. Yeah, you hit it. Because, we tried to divide up the curriculum between commercial property, personalized property, and then casualty. Yeah, we're hitting real claim scenarios. They could be made up, but some of them are actually really large losses that this team handled, and they walk you through, here's how we handled it, here's some things we learned, here's some stuff that maybe if we had a do-over, we would do differently. And then there's a lot of audience interaction. So, hey, how would you handle this? Or what do you think about this scenario? What would you do in this case? And it's just a really cool kind of debrief on a large claim that takes 2 hours to get through, which seems like a long time, but they go quick, don't they, Tonda? Once you get in areas, break out into groups, start talking, all of a sudden 2 hours doesn't seem that long at all.
And I don't know what it is about large loss adjusters, but I find that large loss classes that they like to share. They want to
talk
what they did when they were handling claims, how they resolved it, what resources they use, because a lot of times that can be half of the battle. Like, what do I do if I need to get this type of information? Where do I go? And so people are always willing to share, I find, at the Large Loss Conference.
Yeah, when you start having those 2 hours, there's plenty of time to stretch out and really you can build in that discussion time. You can answer those questions and throw it out to the group more often. And that's one type of feedback we sometimes get. Hey, I wish the session were longer. And at the Large Loss, you can grant that wish, really get these detailed topics some time to stretch out and hear from the audience, not just the presenters, but it's the audience as well, the group that attends. There's some fantastic knowledge that the audience is bringing. Yeah. Right. So could we dive any deeper into the interactivity? What have you seen as far as, I know they kind of involve the audience. How do they bring the audience in on these?
I've seen online polling. So, you use the QR code, you log in, they have questions, and you answer the polling questions and share those results along the way. Again, a great opportunity to get involved and share with you how you think the claim should be handled, or how you would have handled it.
Yep.
So I've seen that. I've seen gaming, maybe some Jeopardy style games and questions, and definitely breakout sessions. So you'll work on a certain issue with the people at your table. Great opportunity to meet the other attendees and share some battle stories there as well. So definitely there's a variety of ways that presenters get the audience involved during these sessions.
Yep. And one of the more fun ones I saw where you break it up like you were the plaintiff side or the policyholder side, and the other was the insurance company or the defense side, and kind of how would you handle this? Here's this argument coming at you. what would you do in that case? So that was kind of fun. And there's other ones too where they break it down. Well, now we've got this element that came up, breakout in a group. And what do you think from a coverage perspective? What questions do you want to ask? Where would you take it from here? So it's a really cool way to break it out, have a lot of discussion, and folks can say, here's what I would have done. Here's what we did in the case. So a lot of cool ways that they get the audience involved and giving great input.
And I love when there's spirited discussions because group A says we should have done this, and group B says, no, we should have done that. And then you're like, explain. And then somebody from the table goes all in, like, we're going to explain why we did that. So I love that because, again, you really want to be able to think your way through how would you investigate these claims? How would you tackle the coverage issues? So those spirited discussions help you to formulate that process.
Or when they assign one group a role, like you're the plaintiff or you're the one insurer who's involved, or and they can pit two groups against each other. That's always fun. And I've seen too where they kind of have a collaborative aspect where maybe they have a whiteboard or an easel or an electronic version, and they're kind of getting ideas from the group and kind of building something together that they can kind of take away. So I think the collaborative aspect is cool as well. Well, let's dive a little bit into the networking opportunities. I know you mentioned that, Mike. You talked about the different vendors that are there, but what's been your experience as far as that? Because we already talked about, this is kind of a special group that chooses to come to these conferences. So, what do you think about the networking opportunities?
Yeah, it's almost like an old friends group that gets together because a lot of these folks have been in. We had a couple keynote folks that have talked about, hey, I've worked with that adjuster out there, that executive general adjuster for 20 some years. So a lot of these same folks, you tend to see the same people showing up year after year because they're all kind of handling that. So it's a great opportunity for old friends to get together. And we try to help that too, Brennan, we have a couple cool receptions. So even before the conference begins, we have the kickoff reception. So you share a couple drinks, a little bit of food, a lot of talking amongst folks, meeting all the people there. If you're not in the sessions where there's a lot of engagement, and likewise, we then do a final reception in between the 2 days of the conference. So once again, another time to get together, chat with all the folks that are there, either that are sponsoring or are part of the classes, and just keeping that dialogue going. So it's hard to break those folks up and get them back into the workshop. But there's a lot of discussions going on.
Yes, and what I love to do, I love when we have the lunches or the breakfasts, and you get to sit down at a table, total strangers most of the time, and engage with them. I find that that's a great opportunity to connect with somebody across the country, handling different types of claims, or maybe they're a service provider and you want to know what they do. So I always use that opportunity to say, hey, what do you do? I'm from PLRB. Tell me something about yourself and your services. So definitely take advantage of that. And then just walking around the room, I love that they're intimate spaces. So it's not like you can kind of hide in a corner somewhere. We pick venues where you can get involved with people. You can connect with them very easily so they can't hide off. So definitely you bump into somebody like, hey, let me look at your name tag. And you find a friend. So it's just a great opportunity to really reach out and connect with people old and new.
Yeah, it's a great knowledge base for someone who's switching into large loss or coming up in it. Great place to seek mentorship and stuff like that.
And I'll add, we don't have the expo at the large loss. There's tables for a lot of our sponsors, but there still is swag. And so we had a bag this year, and people were picking up that bag and still getting their swag. So there's still an opportunity to walk around, grab some swag while you're meeting new service providers and hopefully as well attendees from insurance companies.
Yeah, I got one of my favorite pens, those ones that they're really kind of soft to touch and easy to write with. So that's what I look for at every conference that we have at PLRB. I want my pens, and I got one.
Yeah, I don't know how many recyclable bags I've gathered over the years for PLRB conferences, but when I go to Aldi's or another store that you have to bring your bags, I'm like, I already have enough. I don't need any more. I've been to PLRB conference. I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Did you have anything else to share? Any other reflections on the conference before we wrap up?
Wow, that's a deep question, Brent.
No, let me
reflections.
Well, I think with every conference, you just got to make the most of it.
Right.
Come there with the attitude that you're there to learn, you want to be engaged, you want to connect, and then find opportunities to do just that.
Right.
Again, it's structured in a way that allows for a lot of intimate connections. So yeah, go out there and make it happen. And we're there to support you. I love working the registration desk. I love guessing people's names. I'm like, that's German, isn't it? So that's also a great opportunity for staff to connect. And of course, staff members are there. So if there's something you want to know about a department, maybe there's this burning question you've had about something on our website. That's also another opportunity to reach out and connect with PLRB staff as well.
Yeah, Tonda did a great job selling it. But yeah, that's what, to me, it's all about that networking. And it's quick. I mean, it's a day and a half. So it's fun-filled, quickly moving, a lot of energy. It's just a really fun event. So if you can talk, if you're in large loss handling or want to talk your bosses into getting you over there so that you can check it out. And yeah, like Tonda said, meet us too. We have membership folks there. Us fine education folks from PLRB are there. We'll talk about all the cool stuff we have and how we can help your teams. But network amongst yourselves with experts. It's just a wonderful opportunity to meet a lot of really cool people, have a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And you can get CE credit, right?
Yeah.
Well, good point, Brent. Of course you can. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's head into our key takeaways now. All right, Mike, what do you think our top 3 takeaways are?
I'm reflecting upon that. Well, number 1, do you handle large losses or want to handle large losses? If so, this is a great opportunity for you. Is it all property? No. There's casualty there too. Is it all commercial lines? No. There's personal lines claims there as well. So anybody that's handling large losses of any type, come on. That's what we're all talking about. So that's number 1. Number 2, networking. Like Fonda said, fabulous group to get around from all perspectives. So if your attorneys there, you're going to have your engineers there, your accountants there, your independents there, everybody that's involved in the large loss universe. So it's a great way to connect with folks you've probably worked with, or maybe folks that you want to partner with in the future. So that's a great opportunity. And then number 3, it's fun. It's a unique conference for us because it's targeted solely to this group of folks that handle these very unique losses. And number 2 or 3 or 4, wherever I'm at, it's fun because they're very complex, interesting, fascinating losses. That's what I enjoyed about my 30 years in claims. It's something new every day. And these are some of the biggest losses that can happen, just some of the circumstances that are involved with them, what happened, how somebody got hurt. One was a shooting. That was a lot of fun to work. Well, it wasn't fun, but it was fun to work through from both a coverage angle as well as, how do you do the damages on this? And on the property side, yeah, there's all sorts of crazy convoluted collapses and how's that affect building codes. Oh, it's endlessly fascinating, Brennan. So sign up and come on. It's a lot of fun.
All right. And Mike, I'm going to keep picking on you because this is your segment. Where can an adjuster go to learn more?
Well, Brennan, you know where you can go to learn more. PLRB.org. We have all the cool stuff out there. If you go to the top of our homepage and go across the middle of the toolbar up there, there's something called events. So there you can always click on events and see all the fabulous stuff that we have coming up at PLRB. And of course, all that fabulous stuff generally is put on by who? Oh, the meetings and education team. You know us. We're your big friends at PLRB. So all of our live events that are coming up, even well into the future, so you can start planning and put them on your calendar right now. All of our webinars are coming up. Any of that fun stuff that we do will be there on the events tab. And then, of course, you want to find out more. Like you said, Brennan, some of these we've made into CE modules, so you can always check out the Education Hub as well, because there's always fun stuff there that come from these meetings that we put. Because if you can't attend, well, heck, I'd still like a taste of what went on. Whoa, we'll help you out through the Education tab, so a lot of fun there. And you'll also notice there's banners. We have banners going on when you get to our homepage. It'll say, you don't want to go to the Events tab? Okay. You're like an efficiency person. Well, right there across the top, we're going to have a banner showing what meetings are coming up, and you click on those, and they will take you to the event with more information. So PLRB.org. Oh, it's a fabulous new improved website. If you haven't checked it out, why? Get out there and look at it. It's chock full of information. And I've only covered 2 of the tabs that are out there. There's other hubs, all the other departments. Oh, it's fabulous. You can spend hours at PLRB.org and still not take it all in. It's just fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous.
Mm-hmm. All right. I am going to share those links in the show notes. And
I think I was supposed to ask you that, right?
Mike, you're doing enough today. You're lifting a heavy load.
Yeah, Conda, that was your part. Where are these links at?
On a roll.
But I think I'm going to add the links to those CE courses because I have a couple in mind I'd love to share.
All right.
And I'll also put a recap of the key points from this episode and links to our social media. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us, and please give us a call at 630-509-8704 and leave a voicemail to share your adjuster story. We'll see you next time. The views and opinions expressed in this resource are those of the individual speaker and not necessarily those of the Property and Liability Resource Bureau, its membership, or any organization with which the presenter is employed or affiliated. The information, ideas, and opinions are presented as information only and not as legal advice or offers of representation. Individual policy language and state laws vary, and listeners should rely on guidance from their companies and counsel as appropriate.